The Oneida County snowmobile trails have been open since December 28th, and for more information on how the trails are doing, I'm here with Paul Feeney. So, Paul, how has the activity been on the trails?
From what I've seen, we had a very busy weekend. Being a holiday weekend, a lot of traffic, especially up in the Minocqua area. Apparently, they were very heavily used. So, for the beginning of the year, with the conditions we have, I believe we had very good usage for the weekend.
And so with the delay of snow, how has the grooming process been for these trails?
It's been pretty difficult for them. As you know, we've only got maybe 6 to 10 inches on the ground, and a lot of that is very light, fluffy snow, so it doesn't pack well. There was an ice base because we had some snow early. It melted, got a little bit of rain, and then froze again. So they had an ice base with 4 to 6 inches of powder on top. So I think they're probably having a tough time getting a really good base laid down.
Is there any information about the trails that people should know about, like if they can go on the lakes and ponds right now or anything like that?
Okay, from what I've heard, they are many of the lake routes are marked. They've got the barrels and the markers on the lakes. If you don't see the barrels or the markers on the lakes, we're still recommending staying off until those are marked, because that means that they don't deem them safe yet. So basically that's what I've heard so far. It's early on a Monday morning, so we're still waiting for more updates.
And what type of safety tips do you have for riders, whether they're first time or they're experienced riders? What safety tips do you have? And has there been any issues out on the trails thus far during the season? Okay,
the biggest one is don't drink and ride. That's typical for, whether you're in a car, an ATV, a boat, or a snowmobile. Ride within your abilities. Some of these machines can go extremely fast. You don't need to use every ounce of horsepower that the machines have. Stay on the trails. That's the biggest thing we've heard in the last couple of years, is people going off the trails on private property. We've lost numerous segments of trails where people won't stay on the trail, and people start pulling their easements for the trail system, and that causes big issues for us. And then, like we talked about before, stay off the lakes until they're marked.
Perfect. Was there anything else people should know about the trails going forward, or anything else that you find important that people going out and riding should know about?
Okay, with the minimal snowpack we have right now, conditions are going to be early season conditions, going to be rough. Some of the swamps are not fully frozen yet, so be very cautious there. And to find out what the most recent updates are, people can check the club's website pages or their Facebook pages. And another website called Snow Tracks has up-to-date information on the conditions.
And what's the ideal amount of snow that you guys want to have perfect conditions out there for snowmobilers?
Well, it's not so much the amount. A lot of times it's a type of snow. The really dry, puffy snow doesn't pack down well. But if we could get 6 or 8 inches of just medium density snow right now, that would make a huge difference. If you get too big of 16, 20 inches at one time, it makes grooming very difficult. So just getting 6 inches at a time once a week would be perfect.
And how often are you guys going to be out there grooming these trails?
The clubs determine when the trails need to be groomed. Once we have good snow, a lot of these trails are groomed every day, often overnight, so there's minimal impact on the users. But right now, I would guess that they're not grooming a whole lot, just because they don't have a whole lot to work with.